The Disney Gallery, the Book of Boba Fett, is now out. It was released on May the 4th, which was yesterday. And there was a lot of stuff involved in it. There was a lot of background, a lot of nuances, a lot of stuff I had already figured out, but there were also some new things involved in the show. If you haven't seen it yet, this is your spoiler warning. I will be talking about the Disney Gallery Book of Boba Fett within this video. So if you haven't seen it, go back, watch it, and then come back. It's only about an hour long. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Gerald, and I'm a Star Wars fanatic, and you can be a Star Wars fanatic too. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. Subscribing is absolutely free. We may not agree on every topic that I talk about, but we do agree on one thing. We love Star Wars. Okay, with that said, let's get on with today's topic. If you don't know what the Disney Gallery is, it is a behind-the-scenes making of different shows or movies that they have on Disney+. This one in particular is the behind-the-scenes documentary of the Book of Boba Fett, including interviews from Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, Robert Rodriguez, Bryce Dallas Howard, and all the other directors, actors, and so on that are involved in the show, including that of Tamira Morrison and of Fennec Shan's Ming-Na Wen. So we have Boba Fett himself, Tamira Morrison, and Fennec Shan, played by Ming-Na Wen, also doing interviews. But the biggest part of the interview, I'm not going to focus on everything there. I will say that some of the stuff I had figured out while the Book of Boba Fett was going on, such as Boba Fett living with the Tusken tribe, was loosely based off of the movie series called A Man Called Horse back in the 1960s or 70s. Okay, I just checked it out. It was 1970 that A Man Called Horse was released, and that movie was based on, well, it wasn't based on, but it was a story about an Englishman who was in the United States or America at the time visiting on holiday, and he was taken in by an Indian tribe, captured by them at first, and then made into their culture. The same as Boba Fett, how he was brought into the Tusken tribe as a captive, and then he proved himself and became part of their tribe, made a family out of it, okay? So we talked about that a long time ago, about how Boba Fett, the Tuskens, they were a tribe. He lost his tribe, and he started building a new one in Mos Espa. Yes, I talked about that, so I won't beat a dead horse and keep talking about that. Another part that I got right was Boba Fett was reflecting on his life at this time and a changed man after the Sarlacc pit incident. Now, I know a lot of us figured that out and everything, but it also shows why he wasn't the cutthroat that he was in The Empire Strikes Back or the Clone Wars or any number of stories and novels that were written about him. So, Boba Fett is no longer a John Wick type character. He's more like a Bob Saget with Don Corleone vibes to him. And that's okay, because as we all get older, we all change our behaviors and thought patterns, and what's more important to us. Is it action and adventure, or is it settling down with your family and creating a nest egg and becoming a retirement worthy person, of being able to just be free? Well, that's what Boba Fett was going through, and we called it way back when. So the one thing that I didn't talk about, that I didn't actually know happened, that was contained in the gallery of the Book of Boba Fett, is the fact that Dave Filoni was approached by George Lucas. I don't know if this was during the Clone Wars while George Lucas still owned Star Wars, or if it was after the Disney transition, but at one point George Lucas had approached Dave Filoni and told him, I have this great actor from New Zealand who played Jango Fett. His name is Tamira Morrison. If you ever do a Boba Fett show or movie, use Tamira Morrison to play Boba Fett. Now, some of you are going to say, oh, no, that's probably just rumor. He didn't really say that. He did say it. At least that's what Dave Filoni himself said, that George Lucas actually said that. So those of you who think Tamira Morrison wasn't the right guy for the job, he was too short, or he was too fat, or anything like that, George Lucas wanted that. So we can complain about the Disney era and saying Disney's messing up, they hired the same guy, blah, blah, blah. That's what George Lucas wanted. And a lot of the stuff that goes into The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett has been ran through by George Lucas. He's been brought in to advise a little bit and even look at it and say, hey, yeah, do this, or no, I wouldn't do that, or I'd add midichlorians, or I'd cut Darth Maul's head off and be done with him, toss him into the Sarlacc pit too. But the point is, it isn't all Disney. Well, Disney doesn't write any of the material, but it isn't all Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and Robert Rodriguez doing this stuff. Actually, Robert Rodriguez seems like he didn't have much writing involved in the creative process of Boba Fett anyway. Anytime you would hear Robert Rodriguez talk about the screenplay of the Book of Boba Fett, he would say, Jon Favreau wrote this, Jon Favreau wrote that, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni. So Robert Rodriguez, when we complain about him being the worst director of the show or the creator of the show or whatever, he was just the forerunner of the show. That means he directed most of the episodes and he had some creative input, but most of it went to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Okay, so George Lucas wanted Tamira Morrison to play Boba Fett at some point. Well, he got it. And as I tell my family and those close to me, all is the Force wills it. And in this case, all is as George Lucas wills it. But there's one other thing I want to talk about before I get out of here, and that is the fact that on a couple of occasions it was slight, and maybe editors missed this when they were doing this Disney Gallery Book of Boba Fett documentary, is that a couple times some of the directors had said, all right, this season 1 of the Book of Boba Fett, and it was kind of slight and you could almost miss it. But at the end of it, the director also said, all right, this is a wrap for this season of the Book of Boba Fett. So to me, that speaks volumes. And no pun intended, because they use the volume to film the show, but it speaks a lot to me saying that there might be more seasons of the Book of Boba Fett coming out. And I mean, think about it. It was left on not really a cliffhanger, but a cliffhanger at the same time. I know that's confusing, but after the credit scene and everything, then they showed Cobb Vanth in the Bacta tank. The show is going to go on, whether it be with the Book of Boba Fett itself, Chapter 2, or the Book of Cobb Vanth next, and Boba Fett brought into it. But there's a lot of stories still left to tell about Mos Espa, Boba Fett, Cobb Vanth, Fennec Shand, and all these. And I don't think they could fit it all into the Mandalorian Season 3. I think they would have to incorporate a larger scale, like a show called Mandalorians. That's a multi-season, not just 1, 2, or 3 seasons, but 6, 7 seasons. I mean, come on, we really need to get into some Jodo Cast or Aelin Vel or something from the Legends continuity. And they did mention, Jon Favreau did, that they did incorporate Legends material into the Book of Boba Fett. And I said that originally. I said, okay, there's Legends material in here. You can't deny it. I mean, Boba Fett shows his chain code and Jaster Mariel's name's in there. Concord Dawn's in there. Protector, Foundling, all that stuff. It's all in there. So yes, they did pull from Legends from the Boba Fett stories to incorporate that. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Did you like the gallery? Did you even see it? If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's really good. And once again, I'm just going to remind you, if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button. Turn on all your notifications. That's the way to become a Star Wars fanatic, or at least a Star Wars fanatic on this channel. And by doing so, you will enter yourself in to win a Sideshow Collectibles Remnant Stormtrooper from The Mandalorian. That's a 12-inch figure, beautifully made, that will be shipped straight to you. Once I hit 25,000 subscribers, one person will win that. So think about it. Hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, watch my videos, share them with some friends, hit the like button, hit the comment. Let's do everything we can to make this the biggest and best Star Wars channel on the YouTuber. Wow. I really said that. On YouTube. All right, let's go. All right, thank you all for watching. This is Gerald from Star Wars Fanatics signing off, wishing you all a great Revenge of the 5th, and thank you for watching. Remember, this is the way, the only way.